Thank you for the.
That's the motion for the day.
Well, I'll let you repeat it here in a minute. All right, good morning. It is 9:02 a.m. Call to order for Colonial Hills United Methodist Men's meeting for March 9th. Swin,
Yes, sir.
would you repeat the devotional we were talking about, or give us what you have, and then also financial
I'll
report?
just give you what I have.
There we go. All right.
Get rest, and this comes from Psalm 17, verse, I guess that's 15. As for me, I will continue beholding your faith and the righteousness, that's righteous justice and right standing. And you, I shall be fully satisfied when I awake to find myself beholding your form and having sweet communications with you. So each morning as the sun set on all our problems and on all the mistakes we made that day. But something marvelous happens to us as we sleep. The Lord gives us rest physically, mentally, and emotionally. We are renewed and rejuvenated to face the next day. Today, we may wake up with the same problems we had when we went to bed. Problems that yesterday we felt like we just couldn't take anymore. But somehow today, after proper rest and sleep, we think, if I can do it, I can face it again, excuse me. God promises to renew our strength when we rest in him.
Amen.
And that's the devotion.
Something I could use, because I'm gonna need a lot of rest here for the next couple of months. Anyway. Do you have an update on finances? Are we,
Yeah, we're not.
if not, that's
Yeah,
okay.
we got
But
about the same as we have
Okay.
here. I don't know if Sandy's reimbursed you yet, but
I got it last night.
got it.
So-
Okay, now. So our operating fund balance should be 1,135.72.
Okay,
Scholarship fund still sits at 3,680.
680?
So yeah,
Okay,
3,680.
cool.
We have, I just gave the paperwork to Bob. He's gonna get that to Izzy. We got 2 scholarships this year, 2 seniors, and they're Charles Moore's twins are both graduating this year. And that's the
Okay.
only 2 seniors she has.
Awesome.
So I think we're in good shape there. Generally, they recognize the seniors the last Sunday in May typically.
Uh-huh.
So Bob will get that to Izzy, and then she'll get it back to you, and you get Brandy to write the checks for her.
So have we always emptied the scholarship fund, or?
Generally, it's been just basically what's been happening in the last few years. Part of it because of COVID, we've just been, people make donations to it.
Uh-huh.
And it's been sitting anywhere from about $2,000 to $5,000, depending on what people do.
Well, so the reason I ask is I know in the past, we've tried to include everybody,
Right.
you know.
Anybody that graduates, we've not gone through and picked out the top 2 or 3.
No.
We quit doing that about 3 years ago.
But what I'm getting at is has anybody had any like disgruntled feelings about, well, why did my child only get 500 and then this one gets 750 the next year? And then has anybody said, but because with 3,600 and only 2, that's why I'm
still got money to work with, and you still got a chance to replace it.
Yeah.
Now, the thing of it is, I think it is to recognize fairness for the youth who all participate. So that's one of the things we ask is that, are you an active participant of the youth group?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a recognition just for their achievement of graduating from high school, as opposed to being selective in scholarship level. I mean, that's just a distinction. And
Well, it was just a general question. So, I mean,
What
we
you can
can,
always do if you have to. If
I mean,
you had to do it, you could adjust the level of the scholarship. Right now, we give $500 each.
okay,
That could be adjustable if you had 7 or 8 all at one time. You could drop that to 300 or 400 if you had to.
okay.
That's your option.
But we
Yeah.
don't, we don't just empty the fund, cause we have two, we could split it
we try
1,800.
we try to replace it
Right.
as much as we can.
Yeah.
Try to keep 2,500 in there, so.
Go ahead, Bob.
Okay.
And this is a graduating senior who is going on to some kind of
Mm,
additional education.
Grade school, like
So-
college,
Something additional beyond high school.
Alamo
Yeah.
College, Community District, anything like that.
No, I just wanted to broach that subject up because only having two, I didn't know how that might look if our policy is, our tradition has always been to,
Everybody.
yeah. Well, no, I'm saying is to, if we zero out the funds,
Yeah.
then whatever. So what I'm gonna say as far as, I know this is still just on report, not new business or anything. I'm gonna, sorry, Charles, go
No,
ahead.
Go ahead. I mean, it's being that as we actually formed the scholarship board and everything like that, years ago, myself and also Matt were on that board too. And I haven't heard anybody being disgruntled. Now, maybe Furman might have had somebody come back at him and say they were disgruntled or something like that. But again, he's not here, so.
Well, the thing is, we do the best we can with what we have.
Right.
The whole thing is you treat everybody fairly, you don't treat everybody equally.
Right.
You'd like to treat everybody equally, but equally means everybody gets exactly the same thing, but from one year to the next, that fund balance can be different. So we do the best what we can and be as fair as we can.
Right, exactly.
So what I'm gonna say is, since this is not something that's gonna be of higher interest until, say, May, is I'm gonna say we just need to we need to table any further discussion about it until our May meeting, and then we can decide awards, amounts, and what's fair and what we.
By the time the May meeting comes around, I have to have the paperwork well in progress.
Which, in addition to what I was
So
gonna
next,
say,
next,
yeah,
if you want to talk about it, next month would be the time to have a discussion about any changes to what we're doing now.
so when is the deadline to have the forms in?
They got it middle of May, they gotta have it to Brandy.
Oh, okay.
to write checks.
Okay, so when do we decide the award? When do we decide the recipients?
What's been decided has been 500 per recipient for several years.
Okay,
That's where it's been. We
And
don't decide it unless we have limited funds and you got numerous applications. Then you gotta make a decision.
So do they have to apply? Is that what they, they have to apply?
Yes, there's
Oh.
the application right.
well, in that case, if that's what's been done, again, this is first year doing this, so, I'm still breaking myself in, guys, so. If that's what's been done, then we need no discussion of changing amounts at this point in time. We just need to
What I
make
like-
sure they
what
get
I
all,
like
make
to
sure their stuff
encourage
in.
The group to do, if you're not in a position to do fundraisers,
Uh-huh,
you might just think about what's easiest for me to make a contribution to the scholarship fund. Is that $10 or $25 a month?
Yeah.
That's up to each individual. But that's one way you can approach it and just let it accumulate over the year. Otherwise, you don't want to let it sneak up on you and all of a sudden you say, oh, we're going to have to reduce the scholarship. We don't have to fund it. But if you work at it every month, a little bit at a time, I think you're gonna keep your problem solved. That's just a suggestion.
No, that's good. That's good.
You might be able to get back to a fundraiser at some point. We just haven't been able to do it. We've generally been doing Mother's Day. That's that's something we gift to the church for Mother's Day, not a brunch.
Mm-hmm,
Those things, what we've been doing, that comes out of your operating fund,
mm-hmm.
not your scholarship fund. Yeah, we used to have some large givers to those funds. And I'm not saying it won't continue to happen, but I'm saying
No,
sometimes that kind of disappears. There are certain things you can't just totally depend on.
no, that's totally understandable. Well, like I said, I just wanted to broach the subject because I didn't know what our tradition has been as far as amounts or whatever, so.
Correct.
And, moving on, minutes from last meeting. So just to summarize them, call to order was at 1:01 PM. And we had a fairly lengthy meeting. We got out of here at 3:03. I promise we're not gonna be here that long today, guys. And if we are, then you know what? Y'all need to take me behind that.
We can always leave.
I was gonna say, you need to take me behind that dumpster over there and break off some of these limbs and use it. Anyway, was called to order, like I said, at 1:01 PM. Opening prayer, devotional and financial report was given by Swan. Minutes from last meeting was summarized and approved. Family supper was moved from April 3rd to April 4th at still at Golden Corral due to a conflict with the Chosen series. And details about how to go in and pay and identify yourself with the group were given with that. Update about Club Can Do about there's no updates for them about anything going on with them, but just to let Mr. Jason know if any of your groups have a project, Chosen Series program and the adult confirmation programs that are going on at the church, we volunteered basically to once a month to provide suppers, meals, refreshments, etc. for them, which will bring some updates on that. Had not signed up for youth suppers on Wednesday, Izzy's program, but that has been done, which we'll talk about later. Book study was continuing. In new business, again, went to back to the confirmation. We the thought was to provide a lunch or meal for youth and confirmation. However, that was basically changed to breakfast, which we talked about doing. We also talked about Mother's Day brunch, said that we would continue to provide the Mother's Day brunch. The regular meeting on April 13th has been moved to April 20th due to conflicts with my ever-changing schedule, and y'all have been gracious enough to do that. My son appreciates it as well, as he's getting married on April 15th. So thank you very much. Brush haul off we were asked to help with brush haul off from some trimming and stuff, which was agreed to. A lot of updates from Charles about Habitat from Humanity and what was needed from there. Bob Herrick from the floor gave mention of a potential cybersecurity issue concerning your information being sold through email and other stuff. Don't have the exact wording you used. I apologize for that, but do you want to correct me?
It's, if it's free, if your service is free, if you don't pay for it, you are
You're susceptible to having.
No, you are the product.
You are the product. Okay.
Because the companies that do this make their money selling you. If you're not paying them, they're selling you.
Gotcha.
And everybody's doing it.
So
So
And
it's
there's,
not-
and there's an interesting adder to that, if I might, real quick.
Sure.
There was recently announced that a major antivirus company had been fined what, major bucks by FTC or some government body for selling your information that they
Ooh.
got.
That's a no-no.
Yeah, antivirus company, Avast.
Yeah.
If you're using Avast, you're being sold. So
Check
Bob,
your-
what about McAfee as a virus protection for your computer?
I've used it. I don't currently use it,
Mhm.
but it's a decent name, but you know, it's interesting. I think all but one of the antivirus companies is overseas.
Which one's not?
PCmatic. They approach things from a different. Instead, their approach is different from the others. They approach things basically as, you get only things that you specifically allow. Okay, but.
And they ask you every single time you get
Yeah,
something
but
there.
Right.
if you make a whitelist
I see.
for PCmatic,
I got it.
okay? Everything else is never sees the light of day.
Ah,
But all these other companies are from different European places. Some are even from Russia.
Yep.
Okay, and so you take what you want.
uh-huh.
Um, anyway,
Who do you use?
I knew someone was gonna ask me the question. Oh, can't minimize. Well, okay, I'll tell you at the end. It's on here. I can't minimize while I'm recording and go look at it.
That's okay. All right, so, all right, so that update's now corrected, recorded on Zoom for all of posterity, anyway. Last thing was that Swin basically said that with all the upcoming things they have going on, keep your receipts if you need reimbursements for things and he will take care of you. This meeting was approved, date and time, and motion was made to adjourn and seconded by Mike McLaughlin carried by voice vote at 3:03 PM. Do I have any additions, deletions, insertions, corrections other than those that were already mentioned? Micro internet,
Trend micro.
there we go. So, any additions, deletions to add, whatever? Okay. Approved as read and corrected, see Zoom. See YouTube. See YouTube for corrections, okay? Hang on, let me make my Dick Tracy notes. All right. Moving on, we still have quite a few things. Old business, as mentioned in the previous readings here, family supper is still on for April 4th at Golden Corral. The address is 5071 Northwest Loop 410. We really don't have any a whole lot of things that pertain to this that we need to talk about. Pastor Dan, Jermaine, Jason, and Izzy have all been invited at this point in time, as we had talked about earlier. The question that I have is, do we want to extend an invitation to anyone else that is on our staff, such as Chris Stowe or musicians or anybody else? We don't have to. It is a question. Just want to pose it. Personally, myself, I love Chris to death, but I think we have to draw the line somewhere. And the fact that these are all program staff, not support staff. So I think we're good, but if anybody,
You could always invite Gus. I don't know if he joins any of the groups,
well, Gus is invited as a member of the United Methodist Men. So that's what I mean, I'll reach out to him and tell him more than welcome to come, but what I'm saying is, do we want to invite anyone? Which the other thing is Gus is as the facilities person, in my view, is more support staff than program staff at the campus. So, love Gus to death, but you know, like I said, love Chris Stowe to death as well, and everybody else that's here, but I still think you kind of draw the line. You got to draw the line somewhere. So I'm just saying, I think we draw it at programming versus support.
has Gus signed up to be a member of the men? I don't think he has.
He has in the past.
Yeah, yes, okay.
He has in the past. I have him on the rolls,
Oh,
and he hasn't. So
then bring his chimes.
I understand. Do you have something, Charles?
We can invite other church members, right? Men,
You invite whoever you want to.
so we can just like
It's,
try to grow up the group, like we're always talking about increasing
Mm-hmm.
the group a little bit. And we have guys that used to come in and they're not here, but I mean, I always talk to them about the men's group every chance I get it. You know, when I'm involved, I always talk about the men's group, because this is the first, like, that thing I use when I come to church is the men's group. Hey, the men's group, the men's group. But
We, the Audie Murphy room has seating capacity of 50, 60,
Roughly 50 plus a few.
and
It's long tables.
I mean,
different
assuming,
sizes.
you know, just assuming with this right here that, you know, if Pastor Dan, his entire family comes, there's 5. If Jason and his family come, there's,
Yeah,
you know, so we're sitting right at 10.
yeah.
Plus all of us,
Tables of
plus
6 or
one.
8.
Yeah,
Based on how you put them together.
sure. But, you know, if all of us show up with our +1 at least, I mean, we should fill it up pretty good, but I mean, I'd rather have an overflow.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have, because then we're trying to find smaller tables to cram in a room, but that's okay. But yeah, most definitely, we can invite people, and I mean, I've been talking about it in my Sunday school class, but
yeah, you can only just throw it out there for
Yeah.
them if they want to come or not. But the thing is, the more we give the men's group exposure, I mean, that's how they're gonna learn that we're here. You know, because it seems like sometimes they don't hear, like that they don't know we're here. That's what I don't like.
Bob's done a good job of keeping us reminded if you,
Right.
if you watch your email.
Yeah, and I like Mike's too, and both of them, yeah, on the phone.
so the estimated cost is about 20 per person, correct?
Well, the premium evening meal, I think is like 18 or 19. And
Okay,
then whatever you want, if you want beverages above that,
so it's
that's per person.
so 20, overestimating 25 would be a
Oh, yeah.
good,
If you estimate 25 would include a gratuity for
and
the server.
children are less or the same, or
Oh, there is an age.
below
There's
12, I guess.
there's a adult, there's senior,
Seniors do.
and there's children,
Okay,
rates.
The children and senior rates are very good there.
so
Seniors get $1 off or something.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
I was thinking we would pay more, but that's okay.
dang, I'm gonna file that form now. Well, just having said that, like I said, just having to draw the line. You know, just assuming that all of the ones currently invited, instead of 1, just add 2, so there's 2, 4, 6, 8. That would be 8, that's $200 out of our operating budget now, so.
We're going to pay for their meal, is that the idea?
I think that we should. I mean, we had talked about, I mean, if we're gonna invite them, I think it's just number one, it's just a nice thing to do. If you're gonna invite somebody, you kind of want to take care of them and pay for them. But I mean,
You're gonna have to then be specific to the people at the register. Unless everybody's coming through with you at the exact moment.
no, yeah,
Yeah, you have to give a list of names, the people so that they can put them on their tab, because these people walk up and say, I'm with the men's group,
mm-hmm,
which everybody's likely to do. That doesn't get you anything.
I'll be the last one to get food and make sure they're all taken care of.
Now, what you can do,
So,
make it easy,
mm-hmm,
pick up the church credit card from Chris.
prior to,
And
yeah.
make sure that when they actually pay the bill,
Mm-hmm,
you indicate on there a reference to the UMM.
mm-hmm,
Give your receipt back to Chris with your card. When the bill comes in, they'll charge your operating account straight.
okay,
That's the easy way.
yeah, that's,
And you don't have to worry about
Right.
reimbursement and all that stuff.
no, I was actually gonna do that, but I mean, anyway, so the only thing, like I said, is I feel like we've invited all of the program staff. So I think we're good. Is there any discussion about inviting anyone else? Other than, hey, you're a member of the church, come on in and see what the men's group is doing. Come get some fried chicken at Golden Corral. Okay. But just for our knowledge, when you do invite people, might want to tell them it's 25 gonna be around 25.
Expect to pay 25 inclusive.
Yeah. So anyway. Chosen series of adult confirmation. So as stated earlier, we're providing meals, refreshments, etc. We did this on the 28th. The way that all of this happened was that it happened fast and furious. So I, on our behalf, basically went to a lawn, ordered, I don't know, 7, 8 pizzas or whatever, and delivered them, and bought a case of water and put it in there for the 28th. For the 27th, I think, and I talked to, I don't know if I talked to Swin or Charles about this, but on the 27th, which is the end of the month, and the reason that the end of the month was chosen is because as dates is because the chosen series and the adult confirmation class are meeting Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. and at the end of the month, the last Wednesdays, they still meet at the same time. Okay, let me back up. The chosen series meets weekly. The chosen series, the program meets weekly. The adult confirmation meets once a month. So if you choose the last Wednesday of the month, you get both groups at the same time. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So, so those dates were chosen, number one, to be honest, for convenience, because that way we would not be having to provide things twice per month. Get what I'm saying? So it's roughly a little bigger meals, but probably about 30 people max is what we're looking
Yeah,
at.
I'm trying to encourage turnout, particularly for the chosen, because that's been a struggle.
Right. So anyway, the next date is the 27th of March that we'll be doing that. My suggestion with this, in a very, very, very cheaper way to do this, and I'm volunteering to do it, is I will go buy a big old pork loin, and I will have it sliced. We can have pork loin sandwiches. If somebody is willing to meet me up here, and you can message me directly about this, meet me up here with some bread and mustard, and or barbecue sauce or whatever, okay?
I'll be in Michigan that day, so I won't be available.
All right, but,
Okay, I can help.
okay,
I can help too.
is
Is it on a, like a work week? or-
so
Wednesday-
it's a
night.
Wednesday night, the program starts at, 6. So probably about, because we're gonna be a little bit more together this time, I would say probably between 5:30 and 6, just meet up here. I'm gonna, like I said, my initial thought was to bring the whole loin up here like this and slice it off as they come through, but the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll just slice it beforehand and put it in the ice chest, cause it'll probably be easier to handle that way. So, so if that's okay with everybody good with that? Awesome. Okay. And like I said, those of you, willing to help out with that, keep your eyes up. Just message me personally about it. Keep your eyes up on the newsletter. There'll be more things with that. And as we get closer to it, we'll stay in closer contact. Okay? Because we still are about 2.5 weeks away.
I think, last Wednesday, the chosen was shown in the hospitality
Mm-hmm.
because of the fire practice.
So,
I think now is the fire practice, is that for Easter service?
that's a very good question. And I don't know the answer. It deserves an answer, but I don't have an answer. So what I gather from this is on those Wednesday nights that we're doing this, is that and that's a very, very good question, because the next Sunday after the 27th is Easter. So and that's why I say it that way, because it's a very fluid thing about where these classes are kind of moving around. The only thing I know for certain, the commonality is they're starting in the hospitality room. So, we'll see. So the other thing with, this is, we will have to do 2 dates in April, for this, because, April 24th is the last date for the adult confirmation. However, the chosen series will end prior to that, because there's only a certain number of episodes in the season that they're watching. And I want to say, let me check my previous notes. The last date for the chosen series is maybe the 17th. So the question becomes, how do we as a group want to handle April for this? Now, keep in mind, these don't have to be anything major. Like I said, as it happened for February, just ran out and got boxes of pizza. Okay. I have nothing to do in that particular day, so it's a lot easier for me to just do a pork loin and bring it in. The other thing is, with everything else going on in my life in April, I may need someone to.
Well, there were only 5 of us at the last chosen, so
Okay.
it's not like it's gonna take a lot of pizzas.
How was your attendance last Wednesday?
There were 5.
5. Let's see, that's the problem you got for chosen.
So
It's a good show, but
So let me ask you this, would you mind,
I mean, I can do whatever.
here's what I'm gonna say, would you mind taking whatever April date you want? And if we don't have the funds and operating budget, I'll reimburse you. Go to Chick-fil-A and buy everybody a combo sandwich for whatever,
Okay.
or whatever you wanna do.
Okay.
And, you know, if you don't like Chick-fil-A, go to Bill Miller and buy them a number one or whatever, okay? And you represent us at that,
I can handle that.
and if you need reimbursement and we don't have the operating budget, you let me know and I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Okay, or I'll find a way to get it taken care of, okay? So you have whatever date you want in April for the Chosen series.
Well, if it ends on the 17th, we can do the 17th.
Well, I'm just, if you wanna do the 3rd or the 10th, whatever, that I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'm delegating. You are in charge.
17th is good.
You are in charge of April. Okay, for the Chosen series. Charles Chosen April. My notes right there. Now for the 24th is the 24th is the adult confirmation. Do we want to table this and talk about it on the 20th? Or, because, you know, again, this is a month and a half away, and it's probably easier to plan more when it's at your forefront. So, good enough? Table till April. Okay. Youth suppers, we've signed up to sponsor youth supper on May 15th. I'm suggesting this also be tabled until our May meeting, because we will meet in May prior to the 15th and we will talk about it then. It will be a lot easier to take care of as we go along there. Book study is continuing on Friday mornings. 6:30, Bill Miller's book's Wild at Heart. We're about halfway through it right now. It's you come up with some interesting stuff, as we were talking about, you know, we before the meeting started, like how doesn't seem like a lot of the book would relate to this, but then all of a sudden we started talking about how Dartmouth basketball team unionized. So you never know how those conversations go. Confirmation and youth breakfast. We've started doing this to sponsor breakfast on Sunday mornings once per month, and we have been drawn out or volunteered for the first Sunday of the month. That was taken care of last month already. I would like to start a sign-up list or a calendar that each one of us, so that it wouldn't, let me say how, I don't mind doing this every first Sunday, but I think for the men's organization, if the youth see different ones of us that come in with different items, you know, they kind of get more of an idea that the men's group is more interested and active, instead of just the bald-headed guy that shows up and every once in a while teaches Sunday school. Okay. So I would like to do that. Do we have discussion about whether that's a good or a bad idea? Or can we go ahead and approve that?
Yeah, you did this last
Sunday.
Sunday. You took them what, donuts?
Yes, sir, I did. So the requested items were donuts, pastries, or tacos. They have plenty of drinks and things. Charles emailed me about it prior to this and asked if they could be homemade. Most definitely they can. If you have the time to make pastries, you go ahead, but well, not just you, but anyway. The whole point is just to provide something. Izzy said that there maybe a dozen and a half is the max that they may have. But it's hard to gauge because different activities that are going on with youth, sometimes some are there, some are there, some are not. She said regularly there's roughly, with confirmands and everything, regularly there's about 10,
Okay,
but can be up to 18.
okay.
So, so I guess first question I have is, can we move to signing up to sponsor? Is that okay with everyone? Like one of us rotate in every once a month? Okay, good. So the second thing is, who's bringing breakfast in April?
I'll do.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I should be able to do it in May.
okay.
What time is it?
The Sunday schools, the Sunday school confirmands start at 9:45-ish. 10 o'clock at the latest, kind of depends on when most of the kids get there. The official time on the church website is Sunday school starts at 9:45. Okay, but I don't know how y'all's Sunday school classes run, but ours start anywhere between 9:55 and 10:05 as people come in and stuff. So so the idea basically is if we have something there by 9:30, we're set.
Is it in the back door?
In the back door, in the back door. Mike, you said you had April,
Got it.
okay? And Swen, you
May.
got May. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good deal. Mother's Day brunch, we basically said we're gonna do it. Other than doing reservations and arrangements with the facilities here, I don't think we need to discuss anything about menus at this point in time. So unless anybody has any objection to this, I will take care of the arrangements as far as making sure we have access to the gym and everything. But other than that, with food items and whatever, can we just table plans for that? Because once again, we will meet at least 2 more times before then, so we can just table that at this time. Brush haul off has been completed. To all of the mice that showed up besides me out there, I don't know who you are, I don't care who you are, thank you for the help, because I know that I did not haul off every single one of the brush piles. But whoever did, thank you, and I appreciate your help as well as everybody else. Okay. Charles and/or Larry, this is still old business. Do we have any updates from Habitat from last meeting?
Guess the only thing I can think of, and probably you may be all aware of this from being in church attendance, is the generosity of the congregation through the gifts to the Heart Card Ministry.
Mm-hmm.
They subsequently gave $2,351 to Habitat,
Oh, wow.
as well as a number of other local outreach groups. What was it, 2 Sundays ago?
Yeah.
2 Sundays ago.
It's amazing how much they raised, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
And the same thing last year. It was over 2,000 last year for Habitat through that card ministry. And so that'll go towards the house build in the spring.
Well,
Go ahead.
Fall, in the fall.
In the fall.
Well,
I'm sorry, yes, yes, yes.
I was about to say, wait a minute. If
No.
if we building in the spring, we way behind here now. So.
No, gray cells are disappearing rapidly.
Okay,
But there's been no specific planning for that build yet.
okay.
Isn't that-
I think you hit all.
Have you got a coordinator?
No,
Not yet.
not well. Charles has been working very diligently on it. And
There's been a couple of people that are interested and, you know, I wanna basically kind of talk to them a little bit about it, going forward and have them to say if it's doable, because again, as stated in the last UMM meeting, that this ministry is a very important ministry for the church. And because basically the evidence is how much money is given by the card ministries and also the school, and also the congregation of how big this ministry is. It's just that right now we're looking for somebody to take up the reins, or maybe a team of people to take in that leadership role. So,
Mhm.
and that's the most important thing. And right now going forward, there's, you know, again, there's been a couple of people that are interested, and there's been some people that will take parts of the duties and leadership to go ahead and make sure we can push it through.
Awesome.
I think if you can find co-leaders,
Mhm.
that would be tremendous, because they can kind of share some of the meetings you have to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's
Definitely.
quite a bit involved when you think about it.
There's some big shoes to fill. That's some really big shoes.
Mm,
And it's always hilarious, appreciated over the years, man.
Okay. All right, so that brings us into the next deal, and this is gonna go a lot faster than what you think it is, because we spent a lot of time last week, or last time, talking about stuff, and that meant we have a lot of updates. So guess what? We didn't table anything from last time, so we have no tabled items to discuss. And currently, guess what? We have no new business items to discuss. So therefore, moving into this, do we have any items from the floor under new business that we want to bring up other than what we have already done?
I think we need to introduce our new person today,
Yes, sir.
Steve Porter. Welcome.
Thank you.
Steve, I hate to do this because I always, as much as I talk here, you'd be amazed that I really don't like talking in front of people. But, and so I hate to put people on the spot, but could you tell us a little bit about yourself so we could get to
Sure.
know you a little bit?
The one thing I know is that he comes to early Sunday.
Early
and-
service.
Early service and sits behind me.
Well, then you know what?
When I come.
Well, you know what? The fact that Mr. Bob here said something about you already means that you're kind of up here as we go along. How's that? Okay. Go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
Well, my wife Becky and I, we live off that, here off of Boulevardy Road. We moved there in June. We went to Green United Methodist before we came here. We lived in New Braunfels for 11 years, out in the sticks. Yeah, we were about halfway between New Braunfels and Canyon Lake. And I worked for the Air Force for almost 40 years.
Thank you for your service.
Well, I was just a civilian employee.
It's all right.
Well, actually, I had 3.5 years, 2 years, 5 months, 13 days as an Air Force employee.
Not that you were counting, right?
Not that I was. I don't know, we felt like we wanted to get involved, that's the reason I came today.
Okay.
I just want to see what's going on.
And how long have you lived in this area?
Oh,
You just-
yeah, I moved to San Antonio in 1973. When
Oh,
When I
okay.
got out of the Air Force.
Well, welcome. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here. Sorry to put you on the spot, and
It's all
thank
right.
you for telling us a little bit about yourself.
So with Pastor Harrington and Green when you were there?
That's the reason we came here.
Okay.
We
Okay.
like them.
All right. Do we have anything else? Open discussion. All right. In that case, as approved in the previous meeting in February, the next meeting for business meeting for UMM here is going to be Saturday, April 20th at 9 a.m. Sorry to say 9 p.m. Hold on. And at this point in time, we have nothing else to discuss. Do I have a motion for adjournment? Mike, second.
Matt.
Okay, Matt. All in favor? Okay, and we are out of here at 9:53. I told you we weren't gonna be here 2 hours.